We are going to go through the process of doing an online application. We'll click the link on the home page, get us to the resources page. From here we will link to the project form. When we get to the project form, the first page is a help page where you can download the instructions. We'll hit the second tab, which is the Round 2 Project Form tab. This page will load with all the information that we need on the form. If we're a new user, we'll register. If we are an existing user, we will log in with our email and password. There are three options on this page. You can add a new project, you can update a Round 1 project, or you can edit an existing Round 2 project if you have already partially completed the form. So now we are logged in, and we will click our Start a New Project link. And our first tab will be where we complete our lead agency information. This will include the agency name, the contact person, address, email, phone, and optionally a cell phone. Once we complete this information, we will click the Save Next button, which will move us to the next page on the form. After you click the Save Next button, the information is saved into the database. If you need to go back a page, just click the Back button. So now we are on the General Project page. This page includes general project information, like the project name, the project description, the goals and objectives of the project, the purpose and need, how the project meets existing IRWM goals, and as well as a number of other categories. After you complete this page, the project will be completely registered in the database, and you can come back later on and edit the project. So a nice feature here is that you can complete the project in stages. You can fill out a few pages of the form and then come back later and complete the rest. We don't recommend that you navigate the pages using the forward and back button on your browser, because the information won't be saved into the database. So please only use the Save Next and Back buttons on the actual form. This next information here, after filling out the previous stuff, this next information here is the IRWM plan type that you are filling out for the project. There's other information here, whether the project is part of a regional or sub-regional plan. Basically, all these questions are required. You can, on the home page, you can download a Microsoft Word version of the form, and you can fill out information there and then copy and paste it into this form. This is the project location page, and this is a live map. And what you do is you use the map tools on the map, and you can zoom into your project location and then just click the map to locate the project. You can also see there's a pan and a zoom out feature as well. So you just click on the map, It automatically generates the longitude and latitude, and then you just put in the project description or the location description in the box. So after we've gotten that, we'll click Save Next. And we will move on to the next page, which is the project categories. These are the categories, the regulatory categories, which this project fits to. So here we're just clicking them all, just as an example. So there's also questions about where the benefits of the project accrue in regards to communities or regards to watershed. There's also a question about project synergies, how your project works with other projects. And there are, you'll notice also on each text box there's a character limit to the number of characters you can use in your responses. If you're over the limit, you'll have to cut off some of the text. A good trick is in Microsoft Word, if you have your information typed in Microsoft Word, you can select your text, and then there's a little Word button down at the bottom. It'll give you a character count, so you'll know ahead of time how many characters you have in your responses. This is the Disadvantaged Communities and Native American Tribal Communities page. Just some questions here about if the project benefits a disadvantaged community or a Native American tribal community. There are little information icons there that will give you some more information about each question. In addition, which I failed to mention earlier, there's also a next at the top of the page there's a blue and yellow question mark where you can get general information on the page also. I'm just filling out explanations for our disadvantaged community as well as environmental justice question. Now we'll move on to the project partners page. Project partners are agencies that are working with your agency to implement the project. Basically, you'll fill out the agency name, contact, address, email, phone, cell phone, and the type of cooperator that they are, coordinated planning, funding, in-kind services, or a cooperator or manager. There is a icon there that explains what each one of those types are. After you fill out all your information, you click the Insert Partner button, and that will insert that partner into the database for your project. It will appear in that grid on the right-hand side. You can add as many agencies as necessary. You can edit the information as well. If you found that you put it in incorrectly, you can edit, or you can remove the agency also. So here we're just putting in the second agency, just as an example. we've almost got our second agency in here. Click in the categories. We're inserting them, and then we are moving on to the next page, which is the funding page. This page contains a breakdown of all the costs for the project. The first item is the total project cost. That needs to equal, of course, 100%. The second line here is the requested amount of funding from round 2 that we're requesting. If your project is only for the OWOW plan and you're not requesting any funding, you can just put in 0 there. All these fields are required. If a particular category doesn't fit for your project, just put in 0s. Another thing to note here is don't put in any dollar symbols or percent symbols. Also, you'll only want to use integers. Don't use any cents or decimals in your amounts or your percentages. So after we get the project costs filled out there correctly, we'll put in the annual O&M costs. There'll also be a question about whether your funding has been secured, and you'll need to provide an explanation for that item. Also, a similar question about your O&M funding. You'll need to explain whether the funding has been secured for that as well. Okay, our next